Hello and welcome back to Two Tall Guys Talking Sales. We're your hosts. I'm Kevin.
And I'm Sean.
And we are glad you're here. Thanks for joining us. In this podcast, we talk about real sales issues, big and small, for salespeople, selling situations, and sales leadership. Collectively, we have over 50 years of sales, selling leadership, and sales acumen under our belts, and we're here to share a little bit of that with you in the next 15 minutes. We're glad you're here. Enjoy the show.
Sean, I want to dial into the account-based management marketing as it relates to named accounts. Not only the synergies between the two, but how do we get an organization ready to launch a named account strategy, and how do we help sales and marketing be successful together?
That sounds like a great topic for our conversation. We did a CEO workshop on this not long ago, and we talked about key accounts in that CEO workshop. And I talked about a little bit about using account-based marketing, and I said during that workshop that you need to use account-based marketing, but I didn't tell you how, because we didn't have enough time in that workshop to go into that. Maybe we'll do a workshop on account-based marketing and really dig in. But this will be a good conversation for a podcast, at least to explain what it is and why it's important and how it works, at least at a high level, right? So let's lead into this a little bit. So the first thing we have to do when you're doing account-based marketing is, well, obviously you have to have marketing involved in your organization, right? So you have to have the right people in place to be actually able to do things. But there are several things that account-based marketing can help you do when you were talking about a named account. First of all, you find out with your account, you got to find out all the information about the industry and the size of the company, where they're at, where all their locations are. If it's a multi-location company or multi-divisional company, you need to really map all that stuff out and have that conversation at a salesperson's level with the sales manager and with the account-based marketing person, the marketing person, to start doing that work. And then we need to start understanding what are the triggers that are happening in that account, in that industry, that we can feed into, that we can now send information and have marketing events around that. So, for example, you might want to customize your presentations to specific things that are happening in the industry. That's one easy thing to do. You might want to customize your website, your landing page. You may want to have a specific landing page for a customer that's a really good customer, so that they're always interacting with that information that's on your website. You say, hey, go to this special site, this special named area, this portal, whatever the case may be. So any thoughts along those lines, Kevin?
A couple, and I'm really excited about this type of discussion because it really feeds my inner child on why have a system, right? Why have a selling system? And it's because whether you're selling to a bunch of people that are in a identified, ideal client profile group, or they're what we're talking about today, where they've been assigned to you as a named account, it's important to have and use a system, right? When you know what the system is, whether it's, like you said, the landing pages, the customized portals, all these things, whether or not you're using any one or all of those tools, knowing if they're working to garner the attention and buying behaviors of the customers is the end goal. So being intentional about my system, my processes, and am I getting good results from it? Hugely valuable. So the sales operations side of me is just going, yes, 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 yes. The collaboration with marketing, yes, 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 yes. One thing that always seems to trip people up is, how do you start that conversation internally with, we've been an assigned account company that's trying to also add net new business, and now we want to do a named account strategy. How does that change the leadership structure of a business? How does it change the day in, day out behaviors? And I know there's a lot that goes into it, but you've got some experience there at the enterprise level, and I've got some experience at the formation startup level. So let's tease that out a little bit.
Yeah. So some thoughts that I have on this. Well, first of all, you need to understand what is your strategy with that account. It's a little bit of a different conversation than if it's a land and expand type of deal. And I've had situations where it's one deal because we're going to get it all this time, and that's our goal, and that's what we're trying to do. We'll worry about any additional revenue several years out because we're going to get everything they need right now, and we're going to take care of it in a big contract. So, understanding your strategy is important for the people that need to be in the room at the sales organization level. That marketing person needs to be a multi-talented marketing person. Doesn't potentially have to know everything about how do I build a website, how do I build a new landing page, how do I build a portal. Maybe that person doesn't need to know all that, but they do need to understand what's possible within the structure and the confines of the company. What resources they have. If they can't build a new portal for a client, then that's off the table, right? Don't even talk about it, right? But if they can build the new portal, then they don't need to know all the bells and whistles of making that portal. Just that, yes, that can be done, and yes, it can be structured this way, and kind of work out that design. So they need to be a little bit creative and be able to solve those technical problems, or at least know that those technical problems can be solved within the organization. Sales leadership also needs to be involved in every one of those kind of accounts, because now we're spending a lot more money going after that account, going after that revenue stream. Is it the right tool? Is it the right time to do that with that customer? Let's not do it on a C account. Let's do this on an A account. So there's categorization of clients that needs to be involved there. So I've talked a lot, brought out a lot of things. I'm really interested if anything you want to add to that, or shoot.
Yeah, that's great. I love the idea at the leadership level of knowing what you're investing in, because especially in smaller businesses, distraction is a challenge and can be a perpetual challenge. Like you've got this focus, but then the phone rings, and then you've got somebody out who's sick or vacation. There's a lot of those competing priorities that can actually distract and compress the available time to win that named account because of business factors, right? So small business, it's often also a challenge to get resources produced. Think case studies. In small business, you may not have enough similar or like customers to have multiple case studies with a multitude of references and like a named account strategy can be a real bear, but it can also be the difference in you being um, a lifestyle company and a growth company. To be a growth company, you've got to grow. So quick differentiation there. Account-based strategies, account-based marketing strategies paired with a named account strategy can take you to meteoric heights. I'm talking double, triple the size of your small business, your small enterprise, if we're talking about acquisition of new relationships, as opposed to the account management. So when we're thinking about what a growth-oriented companies do, they don't grow by 10%. They grow by 110% quarterly.
Absolutely right.
So I was thinking about this, and you and I were talking. You really sparked some key ideas in my mind. What are some of the initial pieces you think about on those enterprise level marketing strategies? What are the collateral pieces? Because when I think about some of the startups, and small enterprises, medium-sized enterprises, I think about sales enablement. Simply website, landing page, specific collateral, like an initial case study, like the first case study, and then some infographics talking about value in the customer's terms. Why don't you run with that one?
Sure. So all those things that you've talked about, I have done or I've had my team do for selling, where we would actually put the name of the company that we're selling to into some of the documents we're creating. So we would do some of those things. We would actually all the PowerPoint presentations would have their logos, partnered with, and not just an additional slide, but all the way through, how is XYZ company going to use this product to be successful? So it's a presentation that is thought through, and it's understanding what the end goal is. And in those cases, we actually had to get people from our professional services group involved to talk about the art of the possible, we had to actually say, what if they did all this and it would actually work? And we would create PowerPoints along those lines as well. And so we didn't want to overpromise where the implementation team would say, no, we can't do that. That doesn't work. So we had to be careful about that, and we built that in. I had one company that I worked for quite a little bit ago. They had really good video capability. They had a person in marketing that had a great voice, much better than yours and my voice for narrating video. But they had some resources, and they'd spent some money to create some really great video. We did a custom, this is a day in the life video that we created. It was about 4 minutes long. Took a lot of work. 4 minutes is a lot of video, especially if it's really done well and you want to be impressive. We played that for a customer coming in. That customer was coming into our facility to talk, to get to know us, to talk about the future. We said, we'd like to spend a few minutes and talk about this video we created. It hit right on where they wanted to go. Now, that happened because my team really knew where the customer wanted to go in their business. But we created a video that actually described what that was going to be like with us, with our tools embedded into that process. And it was very well received. Now, that's true account-based marketing. And a lot of our smaller companies, they just can't pull that off. They don't have the resources to do that in-house. But maybe they have something like that. Maybe they have a partner that can do that. And those are all good quality things to do. Because that was true account-based marketing. We literally created a custom video using their story, our products, and we said, this is what life will be like after you do all this.
Yeah, that's a great strategy. And I think COVID, so I was part of a sales team during COVID, and our challenge was getting back in front of people, right? Remember when the world was shut down. So we actually created specific annual reviews, like account-based reviews, and sent the video to them. And it was holistic, so they could be reminded of the team that was serving them. It was really about making us sticky. So from a strategy point of view, matching the appropriate collateral piece is what I call it. The appropriate case study, the appropriate video, the appropriate, individual customized presentation slide deck for a customer becomes really, really valuable. So if we're looking to a CEO audience out here that may be saying, well, what does that look like? What's the first thing I do? I often say, what is the message you want your customer to hear? And then let's figure out how to get that message that you want them to hear in front of them. We can think print, digital, email, snail mail, smoke signals, their name stamped in ice cream, whatever that thing is, becomes an account-based marketing strategy aligned with a named account sales strategy. The one thing I'd love to wrap up here with is developing or being intentional about developing sales strategies for each named account, right? Like your land and expand. Some of them just give us a try. What is the thing that will get them to give us a try? The building value and quantified value over time. Others being recapture, right? If they used to be a customer and we want to bring them back to the fold. Why don't you give us a fun little tidbit or story from your past where you've either recaptured one, won a new logo, or kept one and grown it to meteoric heights? Because I know you got all those experiences, but I think the audience would love to hear a great success story, because that's what we're all shooting for, is success.
Yeah, I'm actually going to make it really, really simple. What can a salesperson today do that is account-based marketing light to get them into an account? So instead of using your standard pitch, your standard outreach letter, whatever the case may be, that's slightly customized, try doing, and we've all received these inquiries on LinkedIn or whatever about these other tools. Try doing a video, just like Vidyard, or there's a couple tools out there. You can just do it on Zoom. Record a video saying, Joe, I would like to talk to you. This is why I want to get in front of you. This is why I want to meet you, explain your value proposition as you understand it so far, as what you could do for that company, and do it in a video. So that's the beginnings of account-based marketing. It's not truly a big strategy, but it is a nice jumping off point for, I am going to do something unique for you. It's going to add value, and it's probably going to get shared among other people within the organization. So we're right at 15 minutes, just a little bit over. So I think we need to wrap up on our session here. But this has been fun. We probably could talk about account-based marketing and techniques and ideas in a bunch of podcasts, and maybe we will.
Sean, I love your stories and your insight. It's always good. I always learn something from you. So thanks for sharing your brain there. Well, I guess until the next one, happy selling and see you out there on the road.
Thank you very much for attending this session on Two Tall Guys Talking Sales. We hope that we have been able to impart some wisdom, give you some guidance, give you some ideas to think about. If you do have other questions that you would like to ask, do us a favor, drop a note down in the comments, and so we can pick it up and we'll talk about it in a future episode. Thank you very much. Happy selling.